This week on Vallo Vision News.
When you go back and remember this night, remember, juntos podemos salir adelante. And for those who don't know what that means, together we will manage.
College Night 2018 ends with a GV2. You've got an in-studio interview with Gold Thought leaders Alex Belli and Sarah Elizabeth Shirley.
And a fireball on the freeway found out what caused this massive explosion that was caught all on camera. Vallo Vision News starts right now.
Hello and welcome to Vallo Vision News. I'm Andy Smith.
And I'm Monique O'Neill. Thank you so much for joining us. College Night 2018 ended in a GV2. We've got an interview with the Gold Side leader in just a moment.
But first, take a look back at this year's shows. The Gold Side took the stage first Saturday night for their final performance of All in the Swing, a golden musical. The show is about a nearly bankrupt gold mining town. The town welcomes expert miner Jesse Jackpot Jenkins in hopes of boosting their gold production. With the bankruptcy looming, the entire community works together to mine enough gold to save their town. All in all, the All in Swing was written by Alex Belli, Ryan Howard, Justice Allen, and Gray Lackey. The musical was directed by Emily Gerbert and Gary Lackey.
During intermission, this year's Mr. and Mrs. Montevallo winners were announced. Purple Side leader Brian Kirkwood and Purple Side athletic director Amber Quinn received the crowns. Congratulations to our Mr. and Mrs. Montevallo.
The Purple Side then took to the stage for their performance of Code Purple, a top-secret musical. The play focuses on secret agent Valentine, who is tasked with delivering a power microchip. However, the bubbling agent accidentally gives the chip away to the villain's henchman. Agent Valentine learns the villain named Goldman is actually his uncle. When Goldman activates his mind control device, it is up to Agent Valentine to save the day and welcome Goldman back into his family. Code Purple was written by Aaron Coleman and directed by Dakota Patrick. After both shows, the Golds and Purples filled the Palmer Auditorium stage in anticipation of hearing their side's winning phase.
When you go back and remember this night, remember, juntos podemos salir adelante. And for those who don't know what that means, together we will manage.
Not only did this year's College Night victory give the Golds a GV2, it marked their 48th College Night win in UM's homecoming tradition.
Joining us now are Gold Thought leaders Alex Belli and Sarah Elizabeth Shirley.
Alex and Sarah Elizabeth, thanks so much for joining us and congrats again on your win.
Thank you.
How did you all come up with the theme for the play?
Well, actually, we had a scriptwriting team throughout the year that would get together and just discuss different ideas and different topics that we could talk about throughout in the show, and we had a multitude of different ideas. And the idea actually started out as a Western, just a regular Western, and someone was like, "We're Gold Side, we should do the American Gold Rush." And from then we just sort of rolled with it, and we just started writing a script about the Great American Gold Rush.
How was the casting and production process?
I'll let you talk about that again.
The casting process always on Gold Side takes place where the whole production team gets together and really discusses, what we think would be best for the show, what we think would, what ways we could really utilize Gold Side and show off everyone's talents to the best of their ability. And it's a really big community process where we get together and just really dish out everything that we think we need and what needs to happen. And that's a lot of how our process goes throughout the entire year, is we really try to make sure it's a community and a conversation so that everyone feels like they're heard and everyone gets their ideas out. Because sometimes, you never know who's going to have that idea that's going to be the winning idea or the thing that's going to get that show rolling the best. And we just like to make sure that everyone feels like they're heard. And no matter, what idea we go with, we want to make sure that everyone is really comfortable with it. So we always have, in our script writing team, we had 3 people, and we always had to make sure that if it was two people against one, we'd go with the two. You know, it was always make sure that whoever feels like needs to happen, and we just go with that, and that's how the process goes throughout the whole year.
How does this victory differ from others in your college night experience?
Yeah, I can go first. So honestly, I was at the point on Saturday night, which I guess was just a few nights ago, where I was just, either way, win or lose, I was just so proud of what we had done and what the cast had done and the pit chorus and the orchestra, what all they had put on that stage. I really did not care win or lose. I mean, obviously winning was great, but I think that's what makes it different. Like every other year I've cared if we won or not, but this year I was just so proud. I felt like we already won.
Yeah, to roll on that, I was really just, someone put it best, I think it was Haley Larkin put it best, and like I couldn't agree with her more when she said, you know, I'm happy we won, but honestly it's the people that we won with that made it so amazing. Everyone this year was just so kind and sweet and loving, and like we really built each other up the whole process. Like I said that in many of my speeches, but it's just so true, like how kind everyone was to each other, and it just made the year so much better. And like winning was amazing, but it's just amazing to win with the people that we won with. Like I'm just happy that I got to experience this process with them.
That's great.
What was the winning line from your show, and how is it significant to your show as a whole?
You want me to say it?
You can do that.
Okay, so our catchphrase was "Together we'll weather whatever may be," and that was probably the most powerful number from our entire show, and so that's why we decided to use that as our catchphrase. And every time we watched that, we just felt like it embodied what Goldside was, like going through thick or thin. You know, we're going to stick together, even though, you know, we may lose, even though we might get in fights, anything like that, we'll still stick together. And so I think that's why we decided to go with that for our catchphrase.
How do you feel about the centennial next year?
Goodness. Honestly, for me, it's incredible to experience a homecoming tradition that's lasted to 100. Like, as I'm sure a lot of people on the campus already know, this is the longest running homecoming tradition in America. And just to be a part of that and to have our names in the program is really amazing.
Yeah,
and I'm
it's
really
exciting.
excited to get to see what happens for the centennial. Like I think all in all, it's really amazing. No matter who wins it, who loses it, I don't really think that matters. It's just the fact that our school and this campus and these people have brought this tradition to a place where we can say we've had a tradition that's been going on for 100 years. Like that's incredible, and get to see that history is remarkable, really.
How did you feel in that moment when they said the line and you knew your side won?
Do you want to go first? Okay, I can go first. Obviously, I was ecstatic, but like I said before, I was just so proud. And that entire time, like, I did not feel any nerves. I had been thinking about that moment this entire month of us going through this process. I kept thinking about it. And I've told Alex before, I have a watch, you know, that can detect my heart rate. I was always at 150 whenever I would think about that moment. But for some reason that night, I just had this peace that came over me because I was just so excited to have made it to that moment. And so, yes, while it was exciting to hear my catchphrase, like, I just think being able to be there in that moment was more exciting to me.
No, yeah. And I've said this to a lot of people, but honestly, like, the only parts of being on that stage at all that I remember are hearing the word together, seeing the floor, and then hugging Sarah Elizabeth. Like, it just, the amount of like joy that just like rushed through my body and like excitement that was flowing through me was remarkable. I really haven't felt anything like that before. Like, we've won before, but
It's
I
different.
mean, it's really different when you're a leader and you get to like experience like helping all these people win, helping all these people get to experience something so amazing. And it was just incredible. I really can't describe in words like how I felt in the moment.
That's great. Thank you for coming. We really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Congratulations on your GV2.
Thank
You so much.
Remember, there's always more news 24/7 on our social media pages. Just search Vallo Vision News on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for more stories throughout the week.
Find out how you can win this blinged out Big Mac ring for your special someone and just in time for Valentine's Day.
And get ready for more ways to express yourself in text messages. Find out when you'll be able to start using more than 150 new emojis. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Vallo Vision News. The White House's $1.5 trillion plan to fix America's infrastructure will be funded with only $200 billion of federal spending, with the rest of it coming from state and local governments.
But how will the federal government pay for this portion, and what would it be used for? Omar Jimenez reports from Washington.
President Trump unveiling his long-projected plan to improve the nation's aging infrastructure.
We're trying to build roads and bridges and fix bridges that are falling down.
The president flanked by governors, mayors, and other local and state officials at the White House Monday.
The people in this room really understand better than most, probably, hopefully better than anybody, that the problem the states have and local leaders have with funding the infrastructure is horrendous.
The plan turned $200 billion federal dollars into $1.5 trillion by leveraging local and state dollars as well as the private sector, all meant to fix things like roads and bridges and bring broadband internet access to more areas outside major cities.
Not only thank you on a rural initiative for transportation, but particularly for broadband. We'd love to have, whether it's white spaces, fiber networks, you name it.
Half of the federal money, $100 billion, would go directly to local governments. Another $20 billion would go toward large-scale projects. $50 billion would go to projects in rural areas as block grants, and the rest, $30 billion, would be spent on other existing infrastructure programs. Another priority, streamlining the approval process for getting federal permits for projects. Democrats are skeptical of the cost.
How are we really going to find any more money? How much more debt do we have to put the American people in?
The plan is part of the president's new $4 trillion budget proposal, delivered to Capitol Hill this morning. In Washington, I'm Omar Jimenez.
Over the weekend, House Democrats released their own infrastructure proposal, which calls for making 5 times more federal funding available.
Some scary moments on Sunday in North China after a truck carrying natural gas overturned and burst into flames. A witness captured this dramatic scene as the flames spread quickly. It appears the gas leaking from the truck was ignited by nearby cars sending a fireball down the highway. 2 people inside the truck were taken to the hospital with serious burns, while passengers in the cars were able to flee in their vehicles in time. Starting this week, the company that makes Oxycontin will stop promoting it to physicians. Purdue Pharmaceutical said over the weekend that it's cutting its sales force in half. The move came after Purdue faced a string of lawsuits from state and local governments. Oxycontin is a highly addictive opioid. The CDC says that opioids were involved in more than 42,000 deaths in the U.S. in 2016, but Purdue denies wrongdoing and says its products account for only 2% of opioids prescribed in the nation. Flu continues to spread across the state of Alabama. Alabama Department of Health confirms that significant flu activity has been reported in every country except Mobile. Health officials say there have been almost 90 flu-related deaths in Alabama since last October. Doctors say it is not too late to get your flu shot.
An Apple Watch can be now used to help detect diabetes. Researchers at the University of California, San Francisco studied the use of the health app Cardiogram. Using the app, an Apple Watch could detect diabetes with an 85% accuracy rate. Heart rate sensors in the watch can pick up on any irregularities that point to specific conditions. Cardiogram has also found that high blood pressure and sleep apnea can be detected via the watch. New Year, new emojis. The Unicode Consortium, a nonprofit that sets the global standard for emoji, announced 157 new emoji options will be coming later this year.
The latest collection includes a cupcake, lobster, parrot flag, and more expressive smiley faces. Emoji will soon have a variety of new hairstyles, such as curly or bold, and more hair color options, such as red and white. There will also be more animals. The new emojis will be released in August or September of this year. If your partner loves their Big Macs, they're really gonna want this. McDonald's is giving away this Big Mac beauty. It's a 7-layer stackable ring called the Bling Mac, and its Cosmo reports upward of $12,000. But McDonald's is giving the 18-karat gold gem encrusted version of its classic sandwich away for free. For a chance to win it, social medias must tweet out their love for the Big Mac using the hashtag BlingMacContest. Finally this week, celebrations in New Orleans were in full swing this weekend in preparation of Mardi Gras this Tuesday.
Over the past few days, countless spectators lined the streets of New Orleans for multiple parades. One parade drew a crowd of about 30,000 people. Many parades feature enormous floats, elaborate costumes, and lots of beads. The carnival season traditionally ends on Mardi Gras, also known as Fat Tuesday, the day before Ash Wednesday. That's all the time we have for today's show.
Thanks for watching, and be sure to tune in to Vallo and Vision News again next week.